I'm Rohini. I'm the editor for Clapham Mums. It'll be 5 years in March. I almost took it up. I didn't want to go back to my job in finance, and it was almost a random decision, like a middle of the night. I just had a miscarriage. I was just not sure where I'm headed with my life. And then I suddenly saw this post, and I just wrote to the lady and said, I can take it on because I'm not going back full time, and everything's sort of in. I didn't even talk to my husband. He didn't know because I was like, I don't know if this is going to play into something. And it all worked out. And because I'd love to write, and the idea that I could run something on my own was something I always thought about, but I never actually committed to. So it's something in the back of my head. I had lots of ideas penciled down, but I never actually put. So when I saw the post, it felt like a sign. So I just jumped with it. It used to be a part of a franchise, which has been great for a learning curve, but you are limited in terms of how it was running, how the website looked, because it's not you, it's not reflection of you. So, but then over the pandemic, which is one of those milestones, when there was no advertising, the franchise closed up. So I had a choice of whether I wanted to buy it or close the site forever. And it was another leap of faith. I just loved my work. I loved working with the community, the businesses I work with. So, it's like I just didn't feel like giving it up. And it actually has had a great time post pandemic. There's a few things which I always dreamt of, which are now happening. We're getting a great amount of schools, state and private, who want to share all their information. So and we've got great feedback from parents about getting all the open days on the emails. Everything is sort of consolidated in one place. Also, a lot of local businesses whom I never thought would come on, like lawyers, divorce lawyers, which I didn't think would be very popular, but they have. So it's been really interesting as a journey. What I mean, one of the things that I saw in your email, Laura, was challenges. And I think the one thing I do miss is having people to bounce ideas off, because you're sort of, most of the time, it's me and my computer. So I do miss human interaction. I meet partners when I can, but you want to have, some sort of, I'm stuck here. And that happened when we had local editors, but now everyone's sort of doing it differently. So we have less in common. So it's hard to just pick up the phone and say, how did you solve this? Or why did you do this? So yeah, that's about
You
me.
touched it. You touched it very, very good topic actually. Also, like how not to be lonely when you are working on solo, like work. And I think that's why I noticed that, for example, these networking groups, like which was like Laura was making in Tooting, and it's kind of like gives that a bit of chance to get like to see and to see you're not alone, like and find these. I think it was very for me like new discovery, like.
Okay. My name is Dina Clumbis, and I am self-taught artist from South London. I started painting in 2018, so I'm very, very new to that, really learning a lot. I always loved drawing, but I never worked with colors, so it's really different thing for me to experiment in the colors. And then you look at my paintings, they're really colorful, and I really like it. I'm inspired by my bringing in European country Lithuania, where I was born. I live in London now nearly 25 years. So looking for different inspirations, not just remembering the past, but something bringing from present to future, basically. My art style is abstract realism, and I do commission pet portraits. I work in Be Creative Art Hub, teaching children from 4 to 10 years old. In the beginning, it was really difficult to say that I am an artist, because you don't believe yourself, especially you don't study. So sometimes you don't know even what you're doing, you know. So slowly I started sending my paintings in online exhibitions, and I was really surprised what feedback I got, certificates I received, and even some prizes I won. So it's really boosted my confidence, and you know, it's like, wow, it's been I'm doing something good if people, you know, recognizing it and everything. So now I can say that, you know, I am an artist. I'm not afraid anymore of that word, and I'm taking part in exhibition personally. Of course, I don't like all this recording things and everything, you know, but slowly, step by step, I'm learning, you know, getting confidentiality in that. So it's moving forward. So it's always the beginning, it's a scary thing. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you know, we need to listen to our inner self. And if it says create, we need to create whatever people say around you, and just never give up. I think, you know, just wash it off, all negativity, what is around us, put a smile on your face and move forward. So this is a message for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dina. That was really inspiring. It's actually, I think it's really, yeah, what it feels like, you know, when, especially when you know, where to find that self-confidence in yourself, you know, like where to find that, you know, like, because in the way, in at the moment when we having the social media and everything, it's a little bit also dragging you down, because you start seeing, oh, maybe this one is better than me, you know, like, and this one is, you know, like, you start comparing. But we have to stop, like, I think comparing, and as Dina said, just look at yourself and self-reflect. I think that's really important, I think. And of course the recognition, then it comes, you know, like it brings you up, you know, like maybe less, more listening to the positive comments than the negative.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's so many negativity around us, so it's really, you know, it's
Yeah.
enough of that. So just I say, it comes and goes. That's it. You know,
Yeah.
positive sticks in your head.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Laura, what you would maybe wanted to say? You have some questions or anything?
Yes, that was great. Thanks, Dina, for sharing that. I think we'll probably hear similar stories because it's always scary to be on your own and starting out. What maybe just looking into the future, the near future. Let's not go too far, or you know, however far you want to go. What is your what would be something that you'd be really, really pleased, happy, thrilled that you have achieved in the near future?
I would like to find my buyer. I want to find out who are the people are. So, you know, I know better what to create, how to create, because you cannot please everyone, you know. So to find who likes your painting, who likes your work, and of course to sell it.
My name is Adriana, and I'm a photographer as Laura. And yeah, my journey is not really long. Actually, I always had something to do with art. I was painting, and then I finished my degree in Poland as a landscape architecture. And now I came here about actually 12 years ago without any language. I just knew to say hi, bye, that's it. So I was really shy, closing my house and doing my little work just to relax and enjoy this life with my two kids. But after like few years staying at home, I feel like I have to do something. So I start doing pictures like more seriously. Um, when my husband told me like, you have to do it because your pictures looks actually really nice. Why are you not making money on it? Just not, don't hide them in your computer, not just your kids, just do for everyone. So I start sitting like at night, watching all the YouTubes, everything, how to do it, how to edit, Photoshop, everything. We're up to 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I get it somehow. So because before really love painting, so I'm trying to put a little bit of painting in my pictures, as probably I don't know if someone's seen it of you. They not like a lifestyle, they're more artistic. I'm trying. And even I have some nice comments that when I put my picture on a Facebook or Instagram, people knew it's me, because it's kind of like related. And that's it. My tip, I would say, never give up on your dreams. And you always can do it when you try hard. In Superdrug, when I started here, so I never like Sundays at work. Now when I have a photo shoot, I don't mind. It's just like
Yeah.
I turn my hobby into my job. So
Yeah, it is. So yeah, so we kind of like, when we are trapped, we kind of like, but we're not happy, like we start feeling that not satisfaction of, this life, like there is something missing. And I think, you pointed very well, like, we just need that, the first step, like, just it's good that your husband encouraged you, like, to say, yeah, let's
he's
just do it,
kicking my
yeah, just like sometimes we need that kick, like come on, just open yourself, yeah, but it's amazing, well done, very good,
That's a great story. Thanks for joining us, Adriana.
Thank you.
It was very good to see your messages come through when we announced this project. And as we were saying, it's about collaborating, and we're, even if we do the same thing, we don't do it in the same way. There's no two artists or two photographers or two
Exactly.
social media people that do things in the same way exactly. So it's important to collaborate, and I'm very happy that you came.
And everyone can have own customers and
yeah.
living next to each other.
Could be fun. So it's Maria, and I actually created my little, very innocently created my Kobe business. I don't even know which day I should count. Shall I count the fun with the first day I started with a client, or when I was just out cycling, brainstorming what I could do? But anyway, it's coming up about 2 years, and which I didn't expect or didn't think too much at first. I was actually at the time I was on furlough, like many people, as an EA, executive assistant to a general manager in a high-end hotel in the West End, and obviously the hotel closed, and I was on furlough for months and months. At first, like we all did, we enjoyed to just spend time with family, do our own thing, DIY, the classic and standard. But one night I just said to my partner, I think I had enough of this. I cannot be doing nothing forever, not knowing when the hotel will open, what COVID will lead us to. So I said, I will just go out and get some fresh air on my bike. I love cycling in London, to just get some inspirations. And I actually just really playfully in my head put together services together that so obviously I am myself in what I'm doing, so I see myself as my own ambassador. I have to be. So I believed in things that I experience in life, in my professional life. I want to create something with my passion, cultures, combine my culture since I was born and raised in Sweden with parents born in China but lived in Vietnam, and now I live with a Frenchman, and I love traveling. So I guess I wanted to put the culture a bit together and the languages that I can and cannot speak. So yeah, so I created and realized that the aim is really to help people, because I believe in relationships. I believe in helping people. Coming from a huge hospitality background, in putting a lot of events together for about 8 years, been doing events from the hotel side, planning anything from 200 to 800 delegates. So yeah, so I believe in but my motto is one step toward a better lifestyle. Spend some time, buy some time and spend it with people you love most. Because being a full-time working mom in the past in London, I believe time is crucial for everyone. So I just wanted to come in with my personality, my passion, my expertise to someone's life to help them. I mean, very much, of course, like as a EA to anyone, but I really want to put in my brain, my hands to a family. And because I come from a huge family, I got 10 brothers and 1 sister. They all live in Sweden, and I think that is a big part of me. And I guess I want to recreate lots of love, in what I'm doing, and make my family proud. So basically, my services that I offer is travel arrangement, admin help. So it's funny that you all said about admin before. Handling people's events, running errands. To be honest, all the missions I've been going through the last 2 years, nothing has been the same. Every client is different. And I just have all this go-to and can-do attitude. I would just do it. I mean, earlier this year, randomly, a family near here saw my flyer that I put up a year ago, and we connected, and the mission was to help them basically to make the 5-bedroom house in Brixton all health and safety ready to get the rent out, while the whole family, parents, 3 kids, 2 dogs, to move to Malta. That was actually quite interesting. And the hardest bit, I think, it was moving the dogs. Yeah, so that's me. I guess I've been lucky. I crossed paths with lovely families, and I love that. I feel like they have just embraced me as one of the family members, and I'm totally devoted in them. Sometimes I do wonder, how do I do with the juggling with all this family plus my own. But as we said before, passion, hobbies, all in one, I guess then we just do it. Maybe sometimes now I feel like, I think I look after other people's lifestyle more than my own lifestyle. Yeah, so bottom line, I guess I've been lucky in having the headspace during furlough to play with this and made it successful. I don't know what future holds. As we touched on the subject before, when people ask, how's your business going? I was like, what business? This is my own project. It's a job. I can't really hear it or feel it that it's a business, but maybe it is in a very much smaller scale. But yeah, I love connecting with people. And before, when we touched on action, no matter if it's small or big, or if it's for yourself or for someone else, is one action. But I always want things to happen every day. I have all a to-do list for different clients in one piece of paper, and I just try to put my head one head, but in different columns, and just have to do it. So that's me, I guess. Don't know, just mumbling away. Adriana, so don't feel alone. I am actually also totally hating speaking in front of people and listen to myself, which I said to Laura. So I'm not ready. I'm nervous about this. Yeah. Any questions? Anything I should?
Lovely. Thank you so much. It's really, really interesting, like how like this is, like when you say, like, I think, like, for example, I'm an artist and, doing lots of artistic things. I think people might be thinking, what is about being like in this position, working, like in creative field. But for me, it's really like amazes of like, your planning, business of like, you're doing all this admins and things like that. And I was like, wow, I was like, I'm fascinated about this because it's totally different from my kind of like creative world, like, in this is a different creative world, but like into this like constant like ideas of like how to move this, to put this, how to manage people, like, and things like that. So it's like, for me, like, it's very, I don't know how to express it, but it's very interesting.
I think we all have some type of quality. It's just in a stronger level or a less strong level. Like, you all clearly are organizers because you're organizing yourself, you're organizing business, you're organizing clients. And I guess it's just, if something you want to pursue or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I see it more as people, that I'm dealing with people rather than a task. So say if I would have been giving a budget to buy something, I don't look at the product or the money. I just look at the people and I just want to feel it and I want to help them. I guess it's the help, is the and as I said, I've never been money driven. I just been relationship driven. And I guess
that's
then the rest will come with it. Repeat client. In the past, when I planned events, it was people coming back and wanted me to plan the events in the corporate world. And I just really enjoyed it. And I felt that is like love,
That's really interesting. I love it. I love that you say like relationship driven. This is like really interesting, I love that. Yeah.
And being very transparent and very honest, I think
Yeah.
we'll all win in the long run.
Yes. Yeah. That's very good. Actually, you pointed that being transparent and honest. Like don't be who you not are, like I mean, like, if I'm shy, like I really like just saying, yeah, I'm shy, like, or I'm like, it's fine, let's do it, like, like it's very interesting, yeah, like, because sometimes I think people will start seeing that you are not who you are if you are putting that mask of being like, yeah, like I know everything.
Yeah. And
what
that
Laura said before about don't be so obsessed and just waiting for people to come to you.
Yeah.
Many times people have actually contacted me on LinkedIn and through someone they know or someone I actually know for like 10 years and they like, can you help me now? I heard that you're doing this and it was like someone spoke to, it's just word of mouth, I guess. I was on the train and they were, hi, do you remember me? You probably don't, like this many years ago. And I said, yes, I do remember you. In my head, I said, I remember your accent as well. And I follow you on Instagram. And I think it's people underestimate the contact they have made in the past and feel shy to reach out again or even to self-promote. I mean, I still learning about self-promoting because sometimes, oh my God, I'm a superhero myself.
Yeah.
But I try to think I'm just passionate and telling people because if there's the right person you're sticking with, do you really value that help? But I had like this family in Brixton who were like, you know what, I would pay anything to just get some time back for herself and for her family. And that achievement, when they reach out after a month in a working relationship, to then say, you know, it's so lovely that we have done this and this as a family together this Saturday morning, and in the past has been my admin morning. That makes me really happy.
Yeah. You're giving time for families to be together. Yeah.
Yeah, or even me time, you know. Buy some
Yeah.
time for
Or me
yourself.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need you. Yeah.
I don't know what future will hold. I just try to do my best for every day, and obviously there are days I'm just thinking, okay, what will happen if one day we have no clients anymore? Then I have to go back to the corporate world. But then I'm thinking back, okay, it's coming up 2 years, and I actually been thinking about this on and off for 2 years, and maybe I should stop thinking about that.
Yeah,
because
you should
if they
stop
go another
thinking
2
Yeah, you
years,
should definitely
and
stop. You know, you should
years.
so yeah. And it's so funny you say that, because I
Yeah.
used to tell myself that, exactly that. And I think it was probably about 2-3 years I used to say, oh my God, I might have to get a job. I might have to get a job. It won't work out. And even after the pandemic, I was thinking that that's so not true.
Yeah.
So not true. Honestly, that's like one of the lies I used to tell myself, that I might have to just get a job. Or my
Yeah.
husband will say, you're going to have to get a job. You have to go back to getting a work. Yeah, that was like a lie I tell myself. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I have to, I have to, right? Even during the
Yeah. Well, this is just
lockdown,
accept.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had this was what, a couple months in, when I had my first client with, well, like 2 days a week, and I just thought, what am I gonna do with myself the other 3 days at least? And I was like, I don't want to use my saving money, and I don't want to use my partner's money, all this whole woman instinct and mommy instinct that I can do all by myself, which maybe was a bit dramatic, but at the time it wasn't dramatic in my whole little bubble. So I actually frantically went to look for jobs in Tesco's and Sainsbury's, and there was no one employing me. And I, in my head, I was like, oh, actually, the gentleman who used to be our tenant in this flat here, he was an air host at the time, and by then he already worked a year in Sainsbury's. And I reached out to him, and I was like, can you get me in there? And he did. But the price was, it was only night shift available, from like starting for 5 o'clock in the morning, and they only gave you, I can't remember, 4-hour shift or something. And I was like, fine, I will do it, just to keep myself afloat without, giving up. I lost it for 5 weeks. 3 nights a week. But I felt, I still learned something, and it wasn't fun for me. And I didn't use my saving, and then I landed with my second client. I was like, okay,
Nice.
that bought me some time.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Which is like very good to say, like, if it's really stuck in your mind, why not to try it? Just okay,
Yeah.
like just go and try it. That, and then you realize that actually I'm still coming back to where I'm doing, like it's just was like, a bit of, but experience is always good,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always taking like, lessons from whatever you do. I think that's
Yeah.
very important, like
Yeah.
not just looking like, as a failure or something, like some
Yeah.
people might be putting that like, but it's more like as a lesson. I learned
Yeah.
something from
Yeah.
it, like I
Definitely.
learned from
Yeah.
the things, I do,
Yeah.
know.
How many times have
Yeah, sorry.
I was going to just add to the point. How many times I've reviewed my CV? Like, in the light of the days when the very busy, and thinking I'm just gonna make this look really good, and I'm just gonna go out there and network the job.
So Lisa, you are now we would like to listen from you to share your journey.
Yeah, I'll probably kind of pick up on some of Maria's points actually at the end when I talk about challenges. But yeah, so basically I went self-employed back in July of last year. So I've been kind of in business for the last like year and a half. Instead of just choosing to do one thing, I chose to do three things. I think I've kind of chatted about this on previous networking groups, because I've never been like a focused person. Like I'm a bit too creative, but then also I have the kind of the discipline of like struggling to kind of like just choose one thing, because I'm interested in too many things. And in a way, you know, I've kind of there's times where, you know, my business partner gets frustrated because she's like, oh, like if you were just focused on this, you know, we would grow and be so successful. You know, you're spreading yourself so thin. And I think for a while there was a lot of people telling me that, and I kind of felt very stressed and thinking, oh my God, like maybe I've got to like give everything else up. But I'm kind of quite strong-willed and determined, and I just thought, no, I'm gonna just put equal, even though I'm going to be knackered, I'm going to just put equal energy into kind of each of those three things and then see what kind of takes off. So my three things are similar to Maria. I've got like a virtual assistant business with a university friend. So we do like, yeah, events, admin, project management, property support, all that kind of stuff. So quite similar to what Maria's doing. And my second second project is tutoring. So I tutor English, French and Italian, and then I'm a professional actor as well. So like there's commonalities in all three streams, but also like they're incredibly different as well. I mean, just kind of touching on the hobby thing, I think I found it really hard, being completely honest, turning like acting into a professional business. I think I kind of think of it now as a professional business, but then if I was to look back and be purely objective and look at like my Excel expenses spreadsheet, somebody objectively would say it's just an expensive hobby. You make no money from it. You kind of pay all this money to kind of get like, you know, fancy photographs, fancy marketing material, you know, pay all these like casting subscriptions. You know, I've got an agent. I don't get any work from my agent because it's such a competitive industry. I've got to constantly hustle for my own work. And then when I do get it, it's either profit share, which means like you might get 20 quid expenses and, you know, you might get a free lunch, but it's generally not profitable. So I think the challenges ahead are going to be, you know, is it really kind of a feasible option to kind of carry on if it's kind of costing me more money than it's making me? Do I kind of just revert it back to a hobby? I think mentally I'm not quite there yet. I'm going to kind of just keep plugging away, see how I get on, you know, continue networking, all that kind of stuff. And then my tutoring, again, that's kind of been a bit of a slow burn as well. I think during the pandemic, I was lucky to kind of secure a lot of like online clients, which were like low maintenance. You know, basically you could kind of just time block your day, no travel. Whereas I think now in the post-pandemic world, everybody thought, oh, people would still be happy doing all online. I think there's a massive resurgence of people wanting face-to-face contact. So sometimes I kind of find myself taking stuff on, which I did recently, and then it just been such a faff. Like I had a massive regret, and luckily, you know, like what you say, Maria G, about energy and things just working out. Luckily, it did, but it could have easily not worked out. I took on this client who was like a 40-minute cycle there and then 40-minute cycle back. She wanted like tuition, like Monday mornings at 10 o'clock. And I basically end up just losing half a day's work for like £35 for my hourly tutoring rate. And I kind of just thought, oh, just keep doing it. It's experience. And then luckily she kind of just said to me, oh, actually, let's take a break for a while. So I think if she comes back to me, I'm just going to find her somebody else. So I think it's kind of, it's being confident after you've been in business for so long. It's about having confidence to be like, actually, that's not really going to work for me. Yeah. Which I think has come in time. And in the VA business, it's great. You know, we're kind of slowly building. I agree with what Maria G was saying about, you know, just taking your time. You know, you can take a break from things. It's not going to stall. I think my main challenges have been where I've had continuous projects and just not being able to take a break, particularly over the summer. I just absolutely like ran myself into the ground for a big client to kind of keep them on our books, because I couldn't pass over the work to anybody else. It had to be me who was doing it, because it was my former employer. And I kind of thought, well, actually, we're really lucky to have secured this gig, and I don't really want to kind of mess it up. But I had to kind of, again, like self-sabotage a little bit, self-sacrifice, not have a summer holiday, which, you know, I kind of resented a little bit, I think, in hindsight. And the main challenge with the VA business, I don't know whether it's the same for other Maria who's doing the same sort of business, but I get a lot of clients on like ad hoc hours, like very small packages that are not incredibly profitable. So what ends up happening is you end up saying yes, 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 taking them all on, and then you think, actually, I'm working like 40 hours a week and not really making any money from this. So I think in sum, that's probably my main challenge at the moment. I'm going to be having a baby next year, so I'm going to be taking maternity leave. So I think, thank you. So I think I'm going to use that period as like a time to like reset. So I'll take 6 months, maybe 6 months, a bit longer off, and use it just as a time to kind of think, okay, I can't come back and do that same kind of level. Can't work at the same level that I'm working now. It's not working for me. So I'm kind of excited about what next year is going to bring in terms of like resetting. I want to kind of upskill, go for the more kind of like lucrative project management clients, and then kind of just slowly, I think going on maternity leave is the perfect excuse to get rid of like some people who I don't want to continue working with. They're all lovely. I've been blessed. I don't have any nightmare clients, but I think it's just time drains. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's basically me in a nutshell, really.
I really agree with you about this. Yes, yes, yes. And I think this is very common for the beginners, kind of like, you know, because I also jumped on it with this, like, you know, yes, yes, yes attitude, and with lots of like, you know, and this and that and that. And then, you know, like at the end, I just feel like that I'm in this, like, you know, just running, and was like, wait a second, where is my, you know, like, yeah, the time and the value, it becomes like, you know, very unbalanced, and you running out of your energy, you know, like you start being like, you know, a bit like of this, you know, losing your you know, like, gosh, I'm tired, you know, like but I totally agree, and it's a good actually to step back, and it was very, very amazing time for you to enjoy, you know, like this time.
It's really nice to be part of something that we're all in the same boat. I guess my journey started such a long time ago through my own sort of mental health in my 20s, where I wasn't happy. And that's how I discovered energy healing. And for me, energy healing was just so phenomenal in so many ways that it just shifted so much for me, and it healed so much that I always kind of knew I wanted to do it. But again, it's like, oh gosh, you know, can you actually even make a living out of this? Is it possible? So I kind of just sort of did it on the side, but, you know, continued sort of doing the work, that kind of inner work, and had other jobs. I had part-time jobs. I sort of not fully present in it. And then finally took the leap 5 years ago, where I just, so going through breast cancer was a massive shift for me. So that was a really defining moment. But even then, after my treatment, I went back to work in this job that I wasn't really happy in, and then finally took the leap. And since taking the leap, it's been, you know, an interesting time in many ways, because I didn't even know anything about business. It's like, I can't remember who the first person was. It's like, wow, to even call myself a therapist or a healer, gosh, you know, is that even possible? And even thinking, God, do I even run a business? I felt like it was something that I was just doing. It's not actually, I'm not really running a business. And it's only recently I've acknowledged, I thought, actually, I am running a business. I have been running a business. You know, so that's quite an interesting thing in terms of the mindset. But my work is really like doing one-to-one work, doing training, doing like workshops, and all for kind of well-being and like healing and empowering and freedom. So that's like the ethos of my practice through my own journey. I found that when you kind of heal, you can really empower yourself, which can kind of free yourself to move to another stage, to whatever that is for you, that whatever makes you happy. And I guess the main thing for me is being like really finding that inner happiness and working with all that other stuff that comes in to stop you finding your joy. It's been an interesting 5 years. I can definitely say the pandemic is being massive. You know, kind of like losing all my business, like all my one-to-one work I couldn't do. However, kind of just moving through that has made me realize, wow, actually my business is a lot stronger than I think. And actually this year, I would say really from April, things really started to shift for me on a whole different level. So I guess my tips would be is not to give up on yourself, which I know we've sort of touched on, and never not to undervalue who you are and what you do. I think that would be like the two really big things, because I think when you're running your own business, I think you tend to undervalue yourself. I know I have a lot, and thinking, oh, you know, it's not good enough, or I tell myself stuff, and actually I am good enough. I'm good enough like just everybody else. And also there's a space for all of us. You know, there's enough people for all of us, so that we don't need to fight for people. We don't need to fight for business. You know, I'm really, you know, feel really lucky. I live in a really incredible, amazing city in London. There's lots of people looking for lots of things. And yeah, that would be my top tip really, is to not undervalue yourself and not to give up. And less judgment. You know, stop judging yourself for everything too much, because I think when you're judging, you just stop that creativity. I know that when I judge myself, I just stop the creativity. Creativity just stops. It doesn't happen. So yeah,